Hi, my name's Keith, and I have a lot to say about HIV, but I think the most important thing is that everything I've been through and everything I know about it, one day, if not already, I'm HIV free. I'm a healer, and I know this because I've been deeply wounded and I found healing. Healing is really what we all are looking for, and when we talk about healing, to really truly find healing, we have to be able to dig deep, find the courage to tell our own truth to ourselves and then to others, and to be honest with who we are, where we come from, and why we've ended up in the situations we have. For me, my story with HIV started as a medical student back in 1989. I had just started coming out of the closet, and I was nowhere nearly comfortable with myself. That has been a lifelong process. I was with one guy, the condom broke, and in that moment, I asked him if he was HIV positive. He couldn't tell me, and I knew in that instant that it had happened. And at the same time, I was so ashamed of who I was that I froze and did nothing. I knew that AZT was available, and I had a sense that taking it might help. At the time, we didn't know that would be the case, but the research has borne out the fact that even taking AZT right after an exposure can reduce the risk. But I was ashamed of who I was, and I didn't deal with it. I buried my head in the sand. About 3 months later, I got a flu-like illness, which was something I never got, and I knew exactly what was going on. I finally went and got tested 6 months later, and sure enough, I found out I was HIV positive. I chose to tell no one. I hid behind it, buried my head in the sand, and carried on with my residency training, and almost didn't finish it because of problems I was having, just holding it all together. It wasn't until 4 years later that I finally started dealing with it, that I finally started facing the fact that I was HIV positive, and that I had to do something about it. It was a difficult time because I couldn't use insurance. It would be automatically taken away from me, basically. But I managed to find a way to start on medications through a drug trial, and I got good advice at the time, which was don't take one drug at a time, and be sure you're in a trial where you're guaranteed to take at least 2 of 3 medications. That's what I did. And a number of other miracles began to happen as I finally faced the truth of being HIV positive. Ultimately, I remain in good health and have been so even until today, because of the drugs that are available, because of my belief that I wasn't going to die. And that's a big part of the story. I honestly believe that all of the medical advances that have taken place, all the drugs that are available, certainly are necessary, but not sufficient. What is even more necessary is the belief in oneself, the belief that we have within ourselves the wisdom to heal, the wisdom to find a cure, and the wisdom to live a healthy life. And that's what I ultimately found in those days. I finally stood up one morning and said to myself, I'm not going to die. This is not going to kill me. I'm going to die from something else. And this all happened for a reason. And sure enough, 2 years ago, I was given the opportunity to be the first patient to receive an experimental immunotherapy. An immunotherapy drug, if you want to call it that. A drug, a therapy aimed at teaching the immune system how to handle the virus on its own, how to eradicate it. And I have been working with this therapy and digging deep and learning about true healing for myself. And as I sit here now, I am absolutely confident that a cure is going to be here, that I am HIV free, and that it's happening now and will be available much sooner than anybody currently believes. The future is now. We are meant to be healthy. We are not meant to have this virus in us. And all we are meant to do is to dig deep and find the wisdom that we contain within ourselves, the wisdom that we were born with, it's in our genes, in every fiber of our body. To unlock that wisdom and find healing. And that's what I'm about. And I believe that's why I became HIV infected so many years ago. In order to stand here today, to be part of the cure, to be part of the good news that all of us are free to be healthy.